不听别人。南无大慈大悲阿弥陀佛。南无大慈大悲阿弥陀佛。南无大慈大悲阿弥陀佛。萨玛萨布达萨。Alright, before we start with the Q&A, so I go through some certain basics first. So some are, do you have the little now? Okay, so this is a new one. Right, so I already said about this morning, how should you practice the 4 great elements? Actually, people asking, when do we see this, right? You see this when you have good mindfulness and concentration. That's why that you don't need to purposely just say, oh, you want to feel hard, so no need. The moment you put the feet on the ground, how you feel? What is the feeling? Hard, or heavy, or cold, or sticky? Yes, if you walk outside, sticky. Sometimes, like for housewife, very particular, how do you know the floor is dirty? It's sticky. Okay. So it's to train your mindfulness on your cleanliness. When the floor is very clean, very smooth, it means that the housekeeping is good, right? So when the floor is very sticky, when you walk, you feel the sand, that means that the housekeeping is not good, right? So that's how we know. And then when you sit down, for example, when you're eating, you feel maybe you feel hot, then you have a saliva or your body sweating and so hot and cold. So naturally, when your mindfulness is good, right? So you can write down as a review. Right? So you just need to focus on mindfulness and effort. Right? When they comes, you know. So you don't need to say, oh, this is hard, this it's just okay, because all these are part of your body, right? The moment you sit here, why do you feel uncomfortable? Your body feel hard, right? Your body feel heavy. Or you sit here, your cushion, even though with the aircon you feel hot, your bottoms feel heat because in contact with the cushion for a long time. Okay, so you need to just have mindfulness and effort. 所以这四大元素，我们不是一定要强调，就看到，当你有正念和精进力，它自然会显现在你前面。只是有需要专注力，好像在走的时候，在站的时候就会看它。Alright, so just now when you do walking meditation, when you do the left, right, or lifting, pushing, dropping, can you see all these 4 great elements? Yes, it's actually not difficult, very easy. But when you see this, remember, when you practice Vipassana, you need to go beyond the concept of I. You don't say, I feel heavy, I feel light. You just know, feet is heavy. Floor is cold, right? Like lifting is light. Pushing is motion. Dropping is heavy, right? So you actually, we don't even need to label. We just need to know. The knowledge is important, just know, right? So when you do walking meditation, at the end you do standing and touching, right? So standing means you know, what do you do? Standing means the body standing, right? Touching means that the feet touching the ground. So when you're not standing, means you see the body standing, right? So body standing and then the feet touching the ground. So body standing, how do you know your body is standing? Because you feel the stiffness at the back. The stiffness actually is the wind. Okay, the wind has the supporting, right? Because the wind support your body, so you can. This wind is not outside; it's the wind inside your body. Right? That's why in Chinese you call it 中风. When something wrong with your wind, you cannot operate your hand and leg. You cannot stand up properly because it's to do with the wind. If your wind is good, you'll be able to stand up. Okay, so you feel the body standing and then the feet touching. So when the feet touching the ground, what is the characteristic you can feel? Sometimes you feel, after you stand for a long time, you feel heavy, 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 right? And then the feet touching the ground. Then when you touch, you stand for in a hot place, you feel hot, hot. You stand under the near the aircon, you feel cold, cold. Then what else can you feel? The ground is a hard or smoothness or something like that, right? So they are in fact they are characteristic of these four elements, right? So walking meditation I already mentioned already. So 站的时候关身体站，那个脚触地；站的时候那个关照身体挺直，挺直是因为风字，身体的风字。触到就是脚触到地有什么感觉？好像硬软、粗啊，还是重，还是软的 ？Alright. So walking meditation, I already say 2 steps. Okay. Now we say first step. I think I didn't write down. First step means left and right. So normally we start with right and left, okay? So right and left. Then second step will be lifting, dropping. Third step will be lifting, pushing, dropping. Then you got 6 steps. So any of you practice 6 steps today? Any of you? How many? Okay, how you feel? Tired? Very tired, huh? Yeah, very slow. This is just like breaking a big step into small parts, you know? Because actually, naturally, when we walk, there are 6 steps there. But if we do it too fast, we cannot know it. So when you become more very slowly, it's a little bit artificial at first, but that's the process. The feet, they will be lifting, pushing, dropping, or in the lifting, then intention lift, then pushing, then you drop, then you touch, and you press. Okay? When you touch, you have one feeling. When you press the feet, press the foot, there's another feeling. Right? So you can try only at the end, maybe after you walk 1 hour, if you might get it boring or you want to do more experiments. So you do maybe 10 minutes. Not recommended to do all the time because you need to stand long at one foot. And it's actually quite stressful for the mind to know. But depends on yogi. Some people like it, you know. So there's Pandita. Here is a Chamya Meditation Center. So another one called Pandita Center. It's also famous. Mahasi Sayadaw had 4 disciples. Chamya Sayadaw, now still alive, only living disciple. Another one is Pandita Sayadaw already passed away. Like MBMC in Penang is under Pandita. So one time the yogi they're supposed to practice very slow. So one yogi walking meditation very slow. So she caused the traffic jam. Because all the yogis are stuck behind her. So if you're going to do walking meditation like that, imagine one of the yogi is doing like this when you all are queuing up for lunch. Everybody will miss the lunch. You cannot do it, right? But you can do it when at your own place and on time. Okay? 明白哦，不用翻译的哦，简单。So then 6 step, intention to lift, lifting, intention to push, pushing, intention to drop, dropping. Why do you want to do it? It's for you to see more of the cause and effect. Now, in Buddhism, we talk about karma. Karma means you do good, you get good result. It's also cause and effect, right? Vipassana, this we call momentary cause and effect, where you see one action lead to another action. Intention to leave. I thought it's a waking up time. Okay, intention to leave, that is the mind. All right, so you can write down mind. Then lifting is the body. Intention to push is the mind. Then pushing is the body or feet. Intention to drop is the mind, and then dropping is the body. Or you can say is the feet or foot. Right. So you see cause and effect. So which one is the cause? Mind is the cause, then lifting is the effect. Right. So like this, you see cause and effect. This is called momentarily. So we have this one, we call it Vipassana, we call it momentarily or causation, where you see cause and effect moment to moment. Right? So this is helpful for you to understand the operation between mind and matter. Sometimes the mind leads and the body or foot happen later. Okay? That is very obvious, mind and matter. But sometimes the body leads, the mind appear later. For example, if you feel pain and you want to go to the toilet, is the mind leading here or the body leads? The body, the signal from the body cause the mind want to go to toilet, right? That's why they call it natural call. When the natural call, you should not ignore too much, because if ignore too much, it leads to some problem later. So if really not important, when you really have natural call, you must answer it. It's true, you know. Because long delay or not going to toilet, it will leads to more problem later, right? So cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. So 这个是要看因果，然后讲暂时的因果，就是讲身体这个意图是因，身体是果；意图是因，身体是果。这样我们才知道每个当下因果的运作，这个叫因果。Okay. Alright. So I think so because tomorrow is the last day, so let me go for this one first. Right. Now, some people ask, you have 4 foundation of mindfulness and you have 5 aggregates, right? Now, how are you going to match to the Kaya Nupassana, Vedana Nupassana, Chitta Nupassana, Dhamma Nupassana, right? Well, where is it? Kaya is body, so is the first aggregate material, Rupa, right? So Vedana is feeling, so is the Vedana Khanda, aggregate of feeling. Chitta, contemplation of mind, is Vijnana Khanda, is the number 5, aggregate of consciousness. So the remaining under Dhammanupassana will be have this Sanya Khanda and Sankhara Khanda, aggregate of perception and mental formation. Right? That is in terms of theory, but actually in Dhammanupassana, it can be everything. Right? It can be all 5 aggregates. 所以这个是4年初跟5运的那个一个对照了哈，好像我们讲身受心法和我们的色受想行识如何的对照，只是理论上而已哦。其实在实际方式来修行，哪一个出现你就要关照。法念处虽然是讲的是想运和行运，其实它包括每个5运。This is theory only. So in meditation, you know, they say, oh, okay, these are 4 foundation mindfulness, these 5 aggregate, I'm going to match them. If you do like this, too much theory, no? So you will be wasting your time spending the meditation hours on thinking too much on theory. Sometimes think too much on Dhamma is also not good. It leads to more restless mind. And like for example, if you are in this kind of meditation retreat, you should not read too much, except the notes I give you, because the notes I give you is relevant to the topics today. So if you come here, you feel boring, you sit outside, drink some tea and read all the books there, and you come to me with all the questions, I cannot answer your question until next year. So we have to delay the course until next year to finish all your questions. Because there are many questions. So when we are doing some Vipassana means practical training. So whatever arises at that moment, you should just make a mental not or mental awareness. You don't need to say, okay, now it's a feeling, now it's the body, now it's the mind, now it's the Dhamma, or this is a aggregate, this is a consciousness, this is a perception only, right? That is later when your mindfulness is very, very sharp. Or if you have a very good pandemic, then you can very good in this kind of analytical knowledge, right? I think I have not recorded in my. I forget to read. Have I? No yet. Okay. Okay. So clear? So this for people who want to know this question about four great foundation for the Satipatthana with the 5 aggregates, how you do the mention. Right? But I like to focus on this one. This is more important. Now, like we say, when we are practicing metta, we are on this conventional truth with the idea of I, you, things, human, man, woman, dog, cat. May my dog be happy. May my cat have enough food. May the animals be happy. So we are focusing on the ego and self. But when you are on Vipassana, so you should write Vipassana here, right? Vipassana is ultimate truth. So you just focus on Nama Rupa, mind and matter, as an object of Vipassana meditation. This is very easy, very clear. 所以我们修慈爱，我们是专注有众生、有灵魂、有猫狗，愿他们都快乐。可是四念处，我们修内观智慧禅，我们只是关注这个名色，所以名色是我们的禅修目标。So all these are due to the we call it Sakkaya Ditthi, means that personality belief. Then we, because of this wrong view, so we cling to the self, I, human. So that is why in Vipassana, we need to let go this Sakkaya Ditthi, personality or individual belief. 这个叫我们讲由于这个我见啊，我见就是讲执着有我有众生的存在，其实是一个错误的见解。所以我们修内观时候，我们应该把这个我见排除。Now 5 aggregates now. Some of you want to know 5 aggregates in detail. Now, should we practice 5 aggregates? When should we practice? That's the question, right? You don't practice 5 aggregates very at the very beginning. You just need to focus on Nama Rupa, right? Nama means mind, right? Mentality or mind. Just there's a lot of different translations. And mentality means matter. Right? So when starting off Vipassana, you just need to know which is Nama, which is Rupa, which is mind, which is the body. So Rupa normally we call a body also. Okay. So gradually, when your mindfulness is very strong, then you can go and differentiate the 5 aggregates. Okay. Which is under the Dhammanupassana, contemplation of the Dhamma. So first, you just need to know Namarupa. So in sitting, what is Namarupa? In walking, what is Namarupa? In standing, what is Namarupa? Right? When you see people, you must know at the moment seeing consciousness is Nama. The eye and then the sight is Rupa. Right? So that's all. And this part is only when you need it, you can see. So that's an example by aggregates here. So when in the body, in sitting, standing, lying down, there is the body, or contemplate the 4 great elements that we mentioned just now, or 6 sense base means that I see something, ear see something. You can do it. When do we practice this? At the moment of standing. That's a good time. Right? So when you're standing, notice I see something, ear hears something, right? The body touching something, or the wind touching the body. Then the mind and mental thoughts. Alright? So you can practice in the standing time. Should we practice 6 sense spaces in sitting? It's only when something disturbs you. For example, you're not rising, falling, of abdomen. You're not the breathing meditation, and suddenly a loud sound comes. then you're not hearing. Then you go back to your rising, falling, or sitting, touching, or breathing meditation, right? So we don't go into the 6 sense bases all the time, because too much objects also can distract the mind. All right. So I suggest the best time actually is a standing meditation. And when you are doing walking meditation, don't do like any chanting, don't do metta chanting, but just focus on the movement, left, right, and so on. Right? So keep the object simple, then you don't get confused. Now, Vedana is any good, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral feeling. It's very easy. Pleasant means like coolness, unpleasant means hotness, and neutral. I think this is easy for you. It just experience the object. OK，色蕴就是讲关照我们的身体，在每个姿势关照4大元素，还有那个6根6处都可以关照哈。受蕴就是讲感觉到那个目标，那个感受，乐受、苦受、不苦不乐受。Okay, this is actually easy to understand. Now, what is this sanya kanda, perception of the aggregate of perception? What it is? It sounds very complicated, but actually we call it just marking the object. Like for example, you see a person in the first time. You notice that actually you might start to remember the face, the body shape, what is he, what is how he or she would look. So next time when you see the person again, you recognize them, right? Okay. So I'll tell my Zoom student, I call it Zoom student because we are online. When they come to me, I don't recognize them. Do you know why? I cannot have perception on them. First, their WhatsApp photo is 10 years ago. They make yourself, now they are 50, they show the 40s photo, right? So that's why I don't have perception on them. Right? Let's see. And when they appear on Zoom, they might appear a little fat or thin. So when they come to me, I cannot have perception because in Zoom, we only see half the body. Sometimes I say half the body, half the face. And now all the online Zoom students never show their face. Even worse, you can see. So sometimes I don't even recognize them, right? You see. So they hide themselves. So they're very clever. So I don't know who are them. So how can I have perception of them? So sometimes they come, they talk to me, say, I think you're Zoom. I say, huh? Yeah, really? Which one? What's your name? They say, oh, okay. I only recognize their name because I see them on the Zoom, right? Okay. And worse is the ladies. Last time on the Zoom is short hair, now become long hair. And then long hair becomes short hair. So how can I have perception, right? Now, perception is when you see people for first time, your mind automatically make a mark. So you can recognize the person. It's kind of like memory, right? So that's why it's quite. Sometimes when you think about the past or future, it's actually all the function of this perception. Another thing like a dog and cat, what's their difference? They look alike, like four-legged. They'll walk on the floor. But how do you make the difference between a dog and cat? Now, I mean, from very far, you see a dog and cat. How do you know it's a dog or it's a cat? Yes, the shape, right? The dog is bigger. The cat is smaller, right? The cat tail is longer. The dog tail is actually should be shorter. It depends on the breed. So that's how we make the perception when we see things, right? For example, this one you call it table, right? This one you call it chair. How do you know? How do you know this is a table? Yeah, and you recognize it because from very young, your mother told you table. And what is the purpose of table? Put things there. Can you sleep on the table? We cannot sleep. Why? Because it's very narrow and also it's too high. If you sleep and you fall, say you lost spinal, you fall down, you might fall down, right? So each things have their own purpose. So we make the mark in the mind. Table is for what, chair is for what. So that's the person function of sanya, right? Okay. 明白哦？对了。 对啊，不用解释好，明白？简单的意思。Now, Sankara is in Abhidhamma, we have 50 Chitasika here. So it's a big group. So it's a group with many things. So there will be intention, greed, hatred, effort. 这个是行组里面是很大的。根据阿毗达摩是50个心所，所以50个东西在里边。So in actual meditation, we only know few things like intention, intention to walk, intention to stand. So we put the intention here. Or when you have greed, hatred, delusion, you can put here. Or effort to meditate is also sankara. 所以，因为它有50个东西很大，所以我们主要就是关照意念要走，意图要做，好像意图要做什么事情，还有贪嗔、精进等等。Now the final one is actually very easy. Just awareness of object, right? That's why when you are doing standing meditation, you cannot see, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, right? OK，这个是意识观看到、听到、想到、触到等等，right? So this one is you can practice like anytime, but it's based on standing posture. And in sitting time is best just don't focus so much on this because it makes your mind go out all the time. 所以在坐禅不要关照太多，因为它让你的心时常跑去外面。只是在站禅的时候比较适合，right? So I think I cover this paper, even though it look very short, but it's actually have very important point and some that are become okay. All right, so let me go for another paper before we open for Q&A. So, okay, I think this one has no translation, but it's actually talking about noble effort path. So you have one we call Karaka Foundation, 5 workers, right? Which is the right understanding, right thoughts, right effort, mindfulness, concentration, right? But this 5, they need to depending on the morality group, right? Now, noble effort path, you know, right? How many you have? So this is a 5 of them, and including these 3, you have 3 of them. So 5 plus 3, you got 8, right? So this is a 3 of them. So based on this noble effort, how we practice meditation, but actually in actual practice, we don't purposely practice on right speech, action, livelihood, because when you observe the every step, you already fulfill the morality group. So you only need to focus on this. Right understanding, right thoughts, right effort, mindfulness, concentration. Later I go into Chinese. So this means that you need to make sure you have right understanding. That's how you listen to the Dhamma, think about it, then you have right thoughts. Then when you practice meditation, you need to have effort, you need to have a mindfulness, then you develop your concentration. So you need to develop these 5 parts here. So understand thought belong to wisdom. Then effort, mindfulness, concentration belong to concentration samadhi. So in brief, when we summarize is wisdom and concentration. These two have to work together. Right? So even though like in maybe in samatha we focus more on concentration, or vipassana we focus more on the wisdom, but actually we need this wisdom and concentration. We need to make sure they work together. 等一下我再讲那个还好，简单就是发生到当你有这个手八戒，你已经有正语正业正语正业和正命，所以你不需要去特地强调它。可是你需要有发展这个5个工作的因素，就是讲有正见、正思维、正精进、正念和正定。哦，这个很重要的。所以简单说，我们说这个是属于 智慧和定。虽然是讲 Vipassana 强调是智慧，萨玛达是强调定，可是我们需要培养这些因素。I think the Yogananda I leave for tomorrow because this is a more deep. Maybe we just go to the last page, right? Just a little bit last page. Okay. Right. Normally, when you practice meditation, you have some good experience like light, knowledge. That's when you practice for 1 month or 2 weeks, joy, tranquility, happiness. So all these are good experience. People thought that you achieve enlightenment, or people thought that you achieve some special power. Well, all these are require defilements of Vipassana, which you need to be aware of them and contemplate them as anicca dukkha anatta, impermanent suffering and non-self. 所以在禅修之后，我们会看到光，有时候有正念、有喜悦等等，这只是会出现而已。可是我们不要执着它，因为执着它，我们就以为我们证悟了。所以我们应该是要继续的关照它，看到他们的生命哦。不管你在禅修，你看到光还是有喜悦，这些也是无常。有的定，它有定，它会可能更好。还是你的身体会有很多特别的感觉，你以为你已经证悟，其实这些也只是暂时的。如果证悟是真的来，你真的是属于正确的，这些只是暂时的一些好的经验而已。Right? So be mindful, even though all these are good experience, we should not cling to them if they appear. And if they do not appear, we do not be disappointed. Right? We do not say this yogi have a joy, I also want to be joy. We don't need to compare because compare make us more disappointed. Right? Okay, I think that's enough. So I'm open for, okay, a final one question. I think somebody asked me this question just now. Now, yeah, right. You find on the earlier one, the one print out today. Just print out today. Okay. Anapanasati in Samatha and Vipassana. What are their similarity and difference? Right? You find in the paper. I think first question or second page. You find? Yeah. Right? Now, when we say Anapanasati means breathing meditation, it's actually wind element. So in Vipassana or Samatha, it's also wind element. Difference is Samatha, you focus. Let's say if you are doing this mindfulness on the breathing, you just focus on one point here as a Samatha practice. When you have other feeling or pain or anything, joy or whatever, you ignore it, you just focus on one point to get very deep concentration. That is the Samatha practice. Okay, but if you are practicing on the breathing meditation, you don't just focus so deep. You need to see the characteristic. For example, the breathing will be how long, how short, is it heavy, is it light? You try to see the changing nature, right? The changing nature of the breath. Try to see the anicca dukkha anatta. Okay, that's the difference between Samatha and Vipassana. It's the same practice, but the aim, the purpose is totally different. Okay, so when you practice this one, you can do it as a Samatha Vipassana. 所以我们关照这个呼吸，可以修为止禅或那个内观禅。止禅只是关照，好像观呼吸，关一点，要深入的静定而已，不管其他东西，不管痛痒啊，还是有喜悦，不管，只是要关一个目标，进入定，所以这个叫止禅。如果你观呼吸的时候有喜悦，还是那个呼吸有变化，所以你需要看它的变化，看到它有多轻、多重，还是多长、多短，这样你才可以看到无常不误，这就是 Vipassana。清楚吗？清楚吗？ Who asked this question? Okay, clear now? Are you clear?
像可能发那个南巴的沙地，现在像体育都做的时候，它是一个词。
Okay, according to the Anapanasati Sutta, there's one, I think I also discussed in one of my online class. So I think I give you all the link, you can go and see later, already given you. So there are 16 stages of this Anapanasati. divided to 4 groups, right? So 4 times 4 is 60. So the last 2 groups is more asana. Starting is all samatha. Okay, so if you follow it, you can develop properly. But it's actually talking very simple. That's what I say. If you want jhana, if you want to have a deep concentration, you just focus on one. Then you go very deep. But if you want to more of vipassana, you try to see how the breath change. Our breath is not the same all the time. We are not robot, right? If robot were maybe they use the machine, they are like this, but our breath will change due to our age. When people are getting more aging, their breath will be, they don't get proper breathing, right? So our breath will change all the time according to circumstances or according to our emotion, right? Today you feel happy, your breath may be one pattern. If you feel sad, your breath will be more short. So you try to see the changing of your breath. That's a vipassana. Right? Okay. 所以他就是讲他讲那个安排内有16个步骤，其实16个步骤里面，最后16个步骤可以分成4个阶段，最后2个阶段其实是讲到内观。我在上网的课程也是有教这些，你们可以去看一下。主要是修定，就是讲你观念那个呼吸给他，只是呼吸而已，不要管其他，给他进入深入的定。如果你修内观智慧展，需要看呼吸的改变，根据年龄，根据我们的情况，呼吸不会一样的哦。Even when you be very mindful, each breath you in, each breath you out, the next breath in and out actually different in terms of length, in terms of heaviness and so. Alright, so I didn't cover. Okay, now we open for Q&A. Alright. Maybe we give opportunity for those who never asked before. Yeah.
Concerning the last page of the new books today, my question is the 6 sense base, the number 6, 162和的意蕴 the aggregate of consciousness. What's the difference? Is it because the feels is from the outside coming in, and the we from inner?
Oh no, don't confuse like this. 第六式 we don't use the word, we just say 六式 5 aggregates means when we say 5 aggregates is also nama rupa, right? But when we say 第六式 consciousness is just the nama only. Nama. Okay? 5 aggregate is nama rupa. So when we talk about aggregates, that's actually nama only. Nama means the mind only. Right? Okay? Is it clear? Okay, 第六处就是讲我们的那个 Okay, normally here we say 6 sense base, but actually in terms of now when we say 6 sense, what is 6 sense base? Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and heart base. Heart base sometimes they say depends on the physical heart. So that is the rupa, our body. But we cannot note heart base. What we can note is eye, seeing something, ear, hearing something, then the nose, smelling something. Now, do you have smelling consciousness now? You don't have. But when you go to the food place, you get the smell, right? Yeah, then you can see the function there. And then now you don't have anything, maybe your saliva, so there's a tasting on the tongue. So you just contemplate them as rupa. Rupa means the material. Okay, clear? Yeah. Is it clear? Okay, based on the 6 sense bases, what do you have? 6 consciousness, right? Eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, and other types of mind. There are many types of mind, all right? So normally you can say eye consciousness sometimes, but we have another thing we call it seeing consciousness. Seeing consciousness, hearing consciousness, smelling consciousness, tasting consciousness, touching consciousness, and other mind like greedy mind, hatred mind, delusion mind. There are all many types of mind. Basically, we just need to know when you contemplate them as they are. So the best time to practice. So later you all try. Go to one place, do standing meditation, open your senses. So open your senses. I know the eye see something. The ear hear the sound. Now you hear the traffic, right? Then the nose smell something. And then when eating now, no, but you have saliva and some smell there. And then the wind sitting outside or aircon touching the body. So you can open for the sixth sense experience of in standing meditation. After that, you go back to turning, and then you go back to standing or standing, touching. Because sometimes when we are doing standing meditation, people feel bored. Standing, touching, what to do? Then you can do this one. That's the best one. Or you can do the four great elements, the body, heavy, light, so on. Okay, next question. For those who, yeah.
So just to clarify, so the six consciousness and the consciousness in the five aggregate is the same.
Okay, six consciousness will be under this Vijnana Khanda consciousness. That's why you have the seeing, hearing, smelling, touching. Yeah, this one. Any consciousness in Abhidhamma, we have 89 consciousness. Next time you should learn Abhidhamma. When you're young, you should learn, Yeah. Okay. Don't say, oh, I have students, some as old as 70, they're still young. They are also learning, so age is not a problem, all right? Okay. Okay, next one.
Questions? Can do something.
Yeah. Okay, so we have another questions.
Okay, I'm pretty new for this class, but before that, half year ago, I used to do meditation every morning for about sometime an hour or an hour class. So it's guided from my friends, Jaya. I did samatha meditation, is really concentration on the nose. And then this time you're all talking about Vipassana meditation, like whether it's a long breath or a short breath, am I right? So that means for the past half an hour, 1 hour, supposed to concentrate on the breathing. But suddenly the feelings come, visit, bring it back to the breathing. That's how it's supposed to do. Okay. My question is, while doing all this meditation, I could be wrong. I don't have spirits coming near me.
Spirit?
A few examples is sometimes you will have, I used to do it outside my car porch. The moment you have hear a step or a sound, then you come near you, you'll feel sensation. There's a sensation, something very electrifying.
All right. So let's say in okay, let's say this yogi is asking, let's say in meditation time, she feel like things approach her. That's about how you feel, it might be not right? Okay, it's kind of like spirit or whatever. The best way is either you do Vipassana or Metta. Vipassana is you're not hearing or smelling, or then you go back to your object. But if you feel very uncomfortable, you send Metta. Send Metta, okay? May whoever you are, may you be very happy and go back to your place. And then, as what we say, the Buddha say four guardian meditation, right? Including the Metta. So you also try to do sharing of merits with them. Every time in the morning or night time. Maybe beings come to you because they wish to have some merits from you. Okay, so try to share with them. Maybe they come and asking from you, you forget to give them. Okay.
We share after we finish, let's say.
Right, yes.
The merits of like we share with them.
Yeah, right. So when we come to this kind of unknown thing, so sometimes we don't scare ourselves, The sound may be just natural sound, Like last time when I was meditating around in the KKB, KKB is actually there was very starting place all day. At night time, the roof can hear many pop 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 pop. It's what the leaf falling, and then squirrels are playing on the top of the roof night time. So it sounds like what ghosts are walking on the roof. So sometimes it's a natural sound. So we don't need to think too much of it. Because no point, the more you think, you have more fear. Fear is in Abhidhamma way, the dosa, unwholesome mind, right? So we change the mind to wholesome by sharing merits with them, or sending metta to them, or just not hearing. That's all. Okay. So that's how skillful we should we call it so-called control the mind. Don't let the mind go wild.
Okay.
不用翻译好，明白好。明白啊？不明白是谁会？可以吗？明白吗？刚才的明白吗？可以哈。OK，如果是简单的，我就不用翻译了，因为这不是很多那个什么佛教经典哈。Next question for those who never asked before.
Knowledge shows that there are people who ask some questions. And regarding practice or Vipassana.
Right. Yes, okay. Wendy, yes. Yeah, Wendy long hair, long side short hair. These are all the Zoom students, they are always long hair, short hair one. Yes. How frequent? Okay. 24 hours now. Try. Except the Buddha say, the Buddha say in the Metta, whenever, as long as you're awake, in sitting, walking, standing, you should practice Metta. If not, Vipassana. Yeah, then you practice Metta. When you are working, associating with people, it's the best time to practice Metta, Like when you see people, smile, that's the best way. So if your face always grumpy and your friends say you look so grumpy, then you say, okay, maybe I should practice more Metta. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. Metta is, when we practice Metta, we are cultivating a soft heart, but it's not to say we cultivate a coward heart. Coward heart means that when things that need to be solved, we don't solve it. When need to be firm, we don't firm it. It's not like that. Okay, so that's why Metta and Metta is love. Vipassana is wisdom. So wisdom and compassion, or wisdom and love, should practice together. Right? We use our love to help people, but we also need to use the wisdom to protect ourselves from bad people. Right? Because there will be some people taking advantage of us. It's true. So if you find, let's say if you liaise with such people first time, you find that you have bad experience. So either you avoid them or don't liaise with them at all. It's your choice. Okay, next question.
This, for example, you see the Vijnana Kanda, right? That is the sense door consciousness.
Yeah,
The sixth one, the mental formation. So does that belong also under the Vijnana Kanda?
No. So in Abhidhamma, we have 50 Cetasika. 50 Cetasika means it's a lot of things. So it's nothing to do with the Vijnana is just the consciousness of knowing the object. Very simple knowing, like seeing something, hearing something. So it's not same with this Sankhara Kanda. So they are separate things. Okay.
So where to classify the sixth consciousness?
Sixth consciousness is under the Vijnana Kanda.
So under Vijnana.
Yeah. Okay, so you can write down, including the eye consciousness. So like eye consciousness, ear consciousness, and so on, right?
So it's a separate function in that sense, that one is just the mental formation of what is cognized and so on. So it's also under the Vijnana Khanda.
Okay, normally simple seeing, hearing is under Vijnana Khanda. But something we add on, for example, like intention to see, greedy during the seeing something. So we add on because all these add on we put under Cetasika, is the mental factors which you learn in Abhidhamma, alright? I already finished teaching Abhidhamma for 1 year. So there are many recordings online. If you're interested, you can contact me and I will share the notes with you. So anything add on is under the Sankhara Khanda. Okay? But Vijnana Khanda is just a pure knowing, pure seeing, pure hearing, pure smelling, pure tasting, pure touching. Right? Very simple. Just so you will know this when you open your sixth sense space. So you hear, you smell, and so on. So at that time, don't know as I hear, I smell, just not as seeing, hearing, smelling, right? 所以我们在站的时候，我们观六根六触，我们外面看到，听到，嗅到，尝到，知道，不要再想，我们只是纯粹的知道而已。这就是我们的这个色欲的工作。Next question. Yes.
If let's say doing samatha meditation, we are doing focus on the nostril, can we focus on our abdomen?
Okay, so if you are practicing the samatha, they always ask you to focus on here. Because why? Here is one pointedness, easy for you to get. Because it's small area and it's very one area and consistent. So easy for them to get deep concentration. But for Vipassana, according to Mahasi Sayadaw, and also here, focus on abdomen rising falling. Abdomen rising falling is also due to breathing, right? When you breathe in, the air will come to here, go to the chest, and go to the abdomen. So the places are different, but all these are considered as breathing meditation. But you don't go and confuse yourself, choose here, then you choose there, then you choose here, choose there. You don't move here, move there. It's very confusing, unless you have stuck nose. So if you have stuck nose, you cannot have object here. When you lost the object, then find something that easy for you to maintain, right? Like abdomen rising falling is very easy. It's a very big, spacious place. If it's unclear where is it, what you do is just put the hand here and put on the top of the abdomen so you can feel the motion easily. Okay? It's the place is different, but it also depends whether are you ready samatha or you vipassana. But don't go and change the place all the time. No, 1 minute here, next minute go there, then 1 minute you get confused all the time. Okay? Yeah. Yes?
Samatha we also
Yeah. The idea of samatha is what? To get deep concentration. So even if you do the abdomen rising falling, you just focus on this object, you know all the pain, you know all the sound, you know everything, just focus on you also can get deep concentration. In fact, some people also practice abdomen rising falling, they also get jhana. But they don't kind of label this as jhana, they just know that they managed to get into a very deep concentration. That's all. Okay. But it depends on your purpose, why you want to get jhana. In Vipassana viewpoint, jhana is a kind of stepping stone for the mind to calm down, and after that go to see the anicca dukkha anatta, rising and passing away of all the namarupa. Okay. Yes, next question. For those who never asked before. You know, we will finish at 5, I think that's enough, right? No? Okay, I think that's enough. So tomorrow we will continue with whatever we can see all the online students. I never see their faces. Alright,